Hi everyone, it's Kim. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. And also, welcome to my weekly update. So as usual, I have my worksheet here so that we can try to stay on track, and hopefully I don't forget to tell you things that I wanted to share with you this week. And I have last week's because I know that there was something I wanted to talk to you about, and I didn't want to lose track of it. I know that we were talking about the monthly theme at the Weight Watcher workshops, and that was your weight loss questions answered. And the theme has been going really well. We've talked about plateaus, we've talked about the scale, we've talked about taking a no weigh-in week, which I actually did a week before that actually was discussed. And this week we talked about what to do when you have an unexpected weight gain. So when you get on, okay, so let's just jump right into that. When you jump on the scale and you think that you kind of did everything right and you're expecting the scale to go down, and all of a sudden the scale went up and you rack your brain, you can't figure out why. And we talked about what to do when that happens, what your reaction is, how to not go down that spiral into that rabbit hole, into, well, I'm just going to eat whatever I want because of the fact that I did everything right and I still had a weight gain. Your body is going to fluctuate. And we talk about this all the time about how this is a weight loss journey. You're going to have ebbs, you're going to have flows, you're going to have ups, you're going to have downs, and it's just going to happen. And your body's going to do weird things. One day you're going to eat something and it's going to be salty, and you'll think, well, I don't have to weigh in for 3 days, so it's okay. Well, guess what? Your body's going, We're gonna just hold on to that salt. Maybe you drank a little bit too much water and it still stayed with you. Maybe your body just needed it and it retained it. There are so many different reasons that your body will hold on to weird things and do weird things. But we've been talking about this all month long. When you are doing everything right, stay the course. Just stay the course. The process will work. Again, just keep doing what you're doing, checking all the boxes, drinking your water, getting your activity in, getting your sleep, tracking. I mean, if you're doing all the right things, eventually it's going to catch up and you're going to just see that scale start to go down and you're going to be good. So that was the topic this week. And if you are not able to catch a Weight Watcher meeting in person, make sure you're trying to jump online and try to catch one of those online. Sometimes if I feel like I'm struggling that week, I'll jump onto an online meeting and just listen in, because of the fact that sometimes I need that extra little piece of reinforcement. So just remember, those are out there. They're from daylight to dark. I mean, they're just all over, that you can catch one of those meetings. All right, so videos I posted this week. I posted one. I mean, my goal was to post 2 plus my weekly update, and it didn't happen this week. Again, this week has just been super crazy. But I did post my grocery haul. When I do my grocery hauls, I always post the points for that grocery haul. I know that since we changed to the new program, it's been really easy for me to post points because everybody's on the same points, except if you're on the diabetic plan. There's a little bit changes, but I mean, the majority of us are on the same points plan, and all of our points are going to be the same. So I did post that grocery haul, and I did have some really good finds in there. So check that out if you haven't already seen that. All right, so what's new this week? Life updates. Well, let me tell you. Last weekend, I talk about camping all the time. So last weekend, we went up to our camper to grab our washer and dryer, and my husband was going to install those. So we went up Saturday, and then we went back up Sunday for a different reason, because, that's what we're doing right now. And, the campground's not fully open, so we're just not staying there yet. So Saturday, here's a funny story for you. Saturday, we jumped on the road really early, and we grab breakfast on the way. Okay, no big deal. Go to McDonald's. I was going to get the fruit parfait yogurt, which I think was like 6 or 7 points from the last time that I had it. It's been a while. So if that's changed, don't quote me on those points. And they didn't offer it. So I know I could have gotten an English muffin, big muffin breakfast sandwich or something for like 4 or 5 points if I would have told them no butter, but I just wasn't in the mood for that. So I thought, oh, safe option. I'll get the oatmeal. Safe option. So I ate the oatmeal. I grabbed my phone. I go to log it into my tracker. Let me tell you something. 10 points. 10 points for my oatmeal, and it just went downhill from there because for some reason, Kim was so excited to go to the campground, she didn't pack herself her normal food, so we ate out for breakfast, we ate out for lunch, and we ate out for dinner. So that was Saturday. Just to tell you, I was in the negative pretty much all week. And then Sunday we went back out, but I did pack a breakfast and I brought healthy snacks. I brought some fruit, so at least I was able to navigate Sunday a little bit better than I did on Saturday. But let me know in the comments if you have done the same thing. You thought you were making a good choice, but then realized you didn't, or that choice that like that. I don't know what other option I could have made. Like I said, I guess I could have got the breakfast sandwich. I guess I should have just brought my breakfast, but I don't know. I was just kind of frustrated because of the fact that I really thought that that was, going to be like 7 points-ish. I know it's a difference, 3 points, big deal, Kim, right? But 10 points to start the day off when you have 23, that was a kind of a shocker. And I knew we were going out to eat for lunch, and we did go to Culver's. I had the chicken sandwich for $7 and the fries for another $7, and I didn't eat them all. But still, 10 points for breakfast, 14 for lunch. So that right there was already at 24. We still hadn't even had dinner. So again, in the negatives all week, which brings me to what did I do at the scale this week? I was up 0.2. 0.2. I was pretty happy with that because of the fact that, like I said, the weekend was very challenging. I did eat out one other day, and again, I'm happy with the 0.2. But I think it's really funny because of the fact that I did not know what the topic was when I walked into the meeting. And, here I am up 0.2, and they're like, what do you do when you have an unexpected, weight gain on the scale? Well, mine was kind of expected, so it wasn't as much of a shock, but it was good to hear all the reasons that can happen, and it was reinforced a little bit. So it's just, again, some of this stuff, just having it as a refresher was really nice. So I love my meeting. I love my coach too. So Susan, I know you probably don't watch my videos, but I love you. All right, so now we have a cat in our lap again. All right, so what am I watching on TV is our next thing. Devil in Ohio. And Devil in Ohio is a series on Netflix. And I think I have, I have my other phone here. And I wanted to have this up and ready for you so that I could give you a little synopsis of it along with the books. I was very prepared this week. So Devil in Ohio is a series. It's a very short series. It's one season. I think it's only like 8 episodes. But if you ever watch the old show, the old TV series Bones, Emily Deschanel is one of the main characters in this. And here's a quick little synopsis for you. Determined to protect a young patient who escaped a mysterious cult, a psychiatrist takes the girl in, putting her own family and life in danger. And there's lots of twists and turns, and it was really good. And I've been watching that one. I think I started it, I want to say, I don't know, a few weeks ago. And then I picked back up and just finished it. I only had a couple episodes left. So I finished that one, and it was really good. So if you're looking for something to watch on Netflix, I would highly recommend that one if you're into like those eerie cult-based stories. And it is set in Ohio. So that's why I think the name is Devil in Ohio. All right, so let's get to my books. And I told you last week when we were talking that I would try to do this so that I could give you a synopsis of the books and just saying, instead of saying, well, I read this book, it was really good. So 22 Seconds. It's a women's murder club thriller. This one is by James Patterson. This one I think is co-written with Maxine Patro. And this is book 22 of 23 books. Now, I talked about this before. There was like a couple of half books, but they don't count them in this synopsis here. So it says 22 seconds until Lindsay Boxer loses her badge or her life. Lindsay Boxer is the detective in this book series. And it says, SFPD Sergeant Lindsay Boxer has guns on her mind. There's buzz of a last-ditch shipment of drugs and weapons crossing the Mexican border ahead of a new restrictive gun laws. Before Lindsay can act, her top informant tips her to a case that hits disturbingly close to home. Former cops, professional hits, all with the same warning scrawled on their bodies. You talk, you die. Now it's Lindsay's turn to choose. So really good. It's such a quick and easy read. Once you get into the series, and again, I'm so many books into the series, it's just really, really good. And you want to like get to the end to see what happens. And for a little while there, I was caught up on the series and I jumped right back in. So I'll have to grab the next book and then I'll be caught up again. And then I'll be anxiously dancing in my seat till the next one comes out. All right, so the next book that I started this week is a book called The House in the Pines by Anna Reyes. Or Anna Reyes, I'm not sure. And again, if you're not following me on Instagram, I'm actually logging all the books that I'm reading in one of the favorites little buttons on my page on Instagram, so you can follow along to see, you know, how many stars I rated it from 1 to 5, and then also what books I've read this year. All right, so House in the Pines, and I just started this one yesterday. And it says here that Maya was a high school senior when her best friend Aubrey mysteriously dropped dead in front of the enigmatic man named Frank, who they've been spending time with all summer. 7 years later, Maya lives in Boston with a loving boyfriend and is kicking the secret addiction that has allowed her to cope with what happened years ago, the gaps in her memories, and the lost time that she can't account for. But her past comes rushing back when she comes across a recent YouTube video in which a young woman suddenly keels over and dies in a diner while sitting across from none other than Frank. Plunged into the trauma that has defined her life, Maya heads to her Berkshire hometown to relive that fateful summer, the influence Frank once had on her, and the obsessive jealousy that nearly destroyed her friendship with Aubrey. So this book had really good reviews, and I was happy to jump into this one. I am listening to that on my library app called Libby. And if you have a local library, make sure you get your library card renewed, because I listen to a lot of audiobooks through my Libby app. So that's another tip for you. All right, so what am I reading on my Kindle? Let's go. I am reading Marlene's Revenge. And this is book 2 by Christopher Coleman. So what I thought I would do is I thought I would read you book 1 and then just give you a quick little synopsis of book 2, because if you're going to jump into this series, book 1 was really, really good. And that one is called Gretel. And it's a spin on Hansel and Gretel and the Witch. I mean, it's just, you can't go wrong with a nice, you know, Hansel and Gretel book. So it says that a lone, frightened captive, if you hear someone approaching, run. She's not there to help you. There's an ancient evil in the backcountry, dormant for centuries, but now hungry and lurking. When it sets its sights on an unsuspecting mother, one routine morning along when it sets its sight on an unsuspecting mother one routine morning along an isolated stretch of highway, a quiet farming family is suddenly thrust into a world of unspeakable terror, and a young Gretel must learn to be the hero. Full of twists and turns, Gretel will have you on the edge of your seat, a perfect read for fans of horror thrillers and creepy fairy tales. If you haven't read Gretel, you're missing out, and I agree. It's a really good book, and I think there's like, I don't know, 2 or 3 books in this series. 6. I stand corrected. So there's 6 books in that series. So I'm reading book 2, which is Marlene's Revenge. So book 1 ended, and is the witch dead? Or is she not dead? What's going to happen? There's some people that are left over from the first book. There's some people that didn't make it from the first book. So it's, like I said, it's nice, and it's a nice little twist. It's not super scary. I mean, so if you're worried about reading a scary book, not super scary. I've been reading a chapter or 2 every night before I go to bed. But again, I'm reading like 3 books right now. So 4 books. I'm reading 4 books right now. So tell me I'm not weird. Tell me some of you out there are also reading multiple books. All right, so this upcoming week, let's start wrapping this up. This upcoming week, upcoming few weeks, I printed out, I went and did some research, and I printed out some new overnight oats recipes. And the reason why is because I want to try to find a couple of good cold overnight oats recipes that I can have to grab and go for instances like what happened last weekend. So I don't want to, I just want to have something that I can grab, take in the car with me. It's already in a jar. I can grab a spoon and I can eat it in the car. And that way, if we're on the run, I don't just have to have a piece of fruit. I've got something that's hearty that's going to stay with me. It's, 3 to 5 points, way better than 10, way, way better. And things that have been helping me navigate this plan. We've talked about the banana chocolate chip muffins. I do have a recipe or a video on my channel. We've talked about this the last couple of weeks, and I've been baking these almost weekly. Super good, feels like a treat. 1 point. If you're not making these, get in your kitchen right now and make them. They are so good. I also found some new bars that I really like at Weight Watchers, and these chocolate nougat bars, they kind of remind me of Three Musketeers. So good. I think they're 3 points. And I have one here. So this is the size of it. So they're a nice little snack size. It's not real huge, but they have this one, and they also have this milk chocolate caramel swirl. Not sponsored. These are not sponsored. I'm just kind of sharing because I picked these up in my meeting. This one's kind of like a Milky Way. So little options here. Again, they're kind of small sizes, but it's enough to just kind of kick that chocolate craving. You guys know I love my Built bars. My favorite Built Puff is this churro bar. And if you scroll down in the comments, I have a link. If you go directly to their site, type in code PREPW. I think that'll save you 10% off your order. And also, they reformulated their cookie dough bars, and the cookie dough bars, this is my favorite bar. And when these come on the site, they sell out quick. Here, I'll just give you a quick little, hopefully that's a good. But when these come on site, these sell out quick. So anytime I start running low, I watch for them to come in, and I immediately order as soon as they announce it so that I know that I have them, and I stick them in the freezer and just pull them out as I need them so that I know that they last longer. And my new find this week, I haven't tried it yet, but look in your local grocery stores. They have a PB2 Crunchy. And let me know in the comments if you have found this, bought it, and tried it. I plan on trying it. I'm going to maybe dip some apples in it. I'm not a crunchy peanut butter and jelly girl, but I'm going to find ways to use this. But I thought that it was very interesting that they're coming out with a crunchy. So I haven't scanned the points on it yet. I know that the other one is like 1 point for 2 tablespoons. I'll try to remember to scan it and put it here so that you'll know how many points it is per serving. But PB2 Crunchy, I think this is going to be good. All right. So with that said, I think that I have filled you in on my entire week. Let me know again in the comments if you liked my book synopsis and reviews. I very excited that I've been reading so much this year. I feel very accomplished because I had a reading goal set, and I think I'm going to blow it out of the water because of the fact that I think that I'm probably going to hit it by June or July. I think I wanted to read 25 books this year, and I think I'm already on track to hit, I don't know, 10 or 12 as I'm sitting here today. So it's kind of exciting. All right. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up today's video. Again, thank you for supporting me. Thank you for supporting my channel. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next video.